alive. In this season, there is so much uncertainty in the air. Nothing seems or appears to be the constant that does not change. It seems as if we are living in times where things are withering away and drastically dying. My thoughts and perceptions of what is going on in the world may not make me feel hopeful. And the uncertainty will try to drive us from the purpose that we know we have to fulfill. You may want to give up and raise the white flag in surrender. But today I plead and beg with you to remain alive. You may wonder what remain alive truly means. Well, listen closely and I will tell you how to remain alive. What it will take to keep those you love alive. And to share with those you meet this important message about staying alive. To remain alive means to have a positive mindset and the mental tenacity that it will take in order for you to live and thrive in the most difficult times in your life. What are the key elements of positive mindset and mental tenacity? Number one, positive mindset focuses on the bright side of life and expects positive results. It is the ability to focus on the good and constructive aspects of life that we face, but also to focus on the good of what we cannot see, feel, or even touch. This is big right here. And this is what we call faith. Positive mindset is attached to faith and hope that the situation or circumstance that we are in will eventually work out for our good. Now we look at mental tenacity as what we must have and what we must do in order to remain alive. Mental tenacity is about doing, performing, and what we must possess in order to remain alive. The action of mental tenacity is continuing in positive actions, constructive work, building, transforming, planning, preparing for good to happen. In order to remain alive, we must not sit back idly waiting, but we are required to perform in order to remain alive. What are the characteristics we must possess in order to remain alive? First, we must have the right self-awareness and self-identity. In other words, we must be aware of who we are. This is important because it is the foundation of what everything else is built on. How we view ourselves and how we look at ourselves, whether positively or negatively, impacts how we perceive certain situations that we go through. Therefore, I must possess the right mind concerning who I am. Therefore, along with self-awareness and self-identity, we must have courage, spirit, the mental and moral strength to fight through disappointment, setbacks, and tremendous hardships. I will do whatever it takes in order to remain alive in the most devastating times. That is the ability to have positive mindset and a mental tenacity. Nevertheless, possessing positive mindset and mental tenacity does not mean that you will not literally be scarred, bruised, or free from hurt or pain. But you give it everything that you have within yourself to say that I will remain alive. I will not give up. I will not surrender or succumb to what I am facing. To remain alive is just not the thought and desire to live, but it is putting into action what living is truly about every day. Therefore, it is knowing that your life has purpose and that your purpose is greatly connected to you, giving your gifts, talents, and energy to those that are in need. It is the hope, faith, and belief that no matter what we face, we will come out more must fight it with positive mindset and mental tenacity. To remain alive, you have to possess the heart, mind, and spirit and soul that you know that you will and can win in spite of what you are going through. To remain alive, you must keep working in the vocation that you were graciously ordained to fulfill before the beginning of time, that only you were created to do. Let me say that one more time. To remain alive, you must keep working in the vocation that you were graciously ordained to fulfill before the beginning of time, that only you were created to do. To remain alive is to find the meaning and strength in your gifts and talents, to share the inspiration that is desperately needed to give others a chance at life. See, it is not important that we understand that our positive mindset and mental tenacity to remain alive is not just about us as individuals and what we can gain out of it. It is the key of how we live and encourage others and use our experiences to show them the way to remain alive. Our relationships are important to our individual survival and the survival of many others. Just imagine if you were not strong enough to remain alive. When there are so many other people in our homes and communities, schools, businesses, and organizations that are counting on you to be a beacon of hope and a beacon of light to help them remain alive. Sadly, if they see you give up, many would give up and surrender because they do not have the hope and faith and support to remain alive. To remain alive, you must push through the thoughts of doubt and insecurity and fear, the fear that desperately wants to suffocate us to the point that we are no longer remaining alive. To remain alive is to stand, endure, and abide. Go on, carry on, to persist, hang in there, survive, and prevail. To remain alive is to live, breathe, flourish, to be energetic, live vigorously, be strong, and to look ahead. To remain alive is to persevere, no matter the situation or circumstances, no matter the misfortunes and trials. Hold on to your faith. To remain alive is to abide, to stand firmly, not to recede or flee. To remain alive is to endure, to be brave and remain calm in the midst of adversity and in the midst of the storm. To remain alive is to commit to your purpose. To remain alive is to believe in the cause that you were created to do. To remain alive is to have the undeniable belief that you will live and that you can win. To remain alive is to have the optimism and positive mindsets which brings longevity and life. To remain alive is to be resilient, understanding that life is full of challenges, but you have declared within yourself that you will be successful. To remain alive is a lifestyle that is a part of you every day. We begin to take on the identity of willing others to remain alive, to live and win, and remain alive. I say it again, remain alive. Say it to yourself, I will remain alive. You have work to do. I have work to do. We have people to help. We have to and we must remain alive. Stay committed, stay strong, have faith, and hold on and remain alive.